The morning hunt had already begun before the first rays of sunlight reached the tall grass. A small band of ancient hominins moved silently across the East African savanna nearly 6.7 million years ago. Their bodies were neither fully ape nor fully human. But every careful step carried the future of an entire lineage. Adults searched for roots beneath cracked earth, while others gathered fallen fruit scattered beneath thorn trees. The youngest clung to older females as several powerful males scanned the horizon for danger. Hunger ruled every decision, then the wind shifted, every head lifted at once. A herd of frightened antelope exploded across the grassland, fleeing from something unseen. Seconds later, a massive saber-toothed predator emerged from the dust, driving straight toward the gathering hominins. Panic spread instantly. The group scattered into the tall grass, carrying infants against their chests. Stones flew through the air, striking the predator without slowing it. One young male stumbled while shielding an elderly female, and the enormous cat crashed into him with terrifying force. The tribe fled toward a rocky hillside, believing the young male had been lost forever. But he refused to die. Bleeding from deep wounds across his shoulder, he dragged himself beneath tangled thorn bushes where the predator could not easily reach him. His breathing slowed as the beast circled only a few paces away. Every movement became a gamble between survival and death. After several tense moments, the predator abandoned its wounded prey, choosing easier targets among the distant antelope herd. As darkness approached, the tribe cautiously returned. They found the young survivor barely conscious, covered in blood but still breathing. Instead of leaving him behind, the group surrounded him. Stronger adults lifted his body while others gathered broadleaves filled with river water. Older females pressed crushed medicinal plants against torn flesh, slowing the bleeding. Their survival depended not only on strength, but on protecting one another. The journey home had only begun. Heavy clouds rolled across the sky. Thunder echoed through the valley as violent rain transformed dry ground into rushing streams. The familiar paths disappeared beneath mud. Every step became slower, every scent harder to detect. Children cried from exhaustion while lightning illuminated the endless grassland. Then came another disaster. A rival band of hominins emerged from the rain near the only sheltered cave within many miles. Both groups froze. The cave represented warmth, safety, and survival through the storm. Neither side wished to surrender it. The rivals began throwing stones while beating branches against the ground to appear larger. Adults pulled children behind them. The wounded survivor could barely stand, yet he forced himself upright, gripping a heavy branch despite trembling limbs. His determination inspired the others to tighten their formation rather than scatter in fear. Nature made the next decision. A deafening crack split the air as lightning struck an ancient tree overlooking the cave entrance. Flaming branches collapsed between both groups. Startled by fire and thunder, everyone retreated instinctively. The rival band disappeared into the rain, choosing another direction instead of risking the strange blazing obstacle. The storm had spared both tribes, but it left new challenges behind. The cave entrance was partially blocked by fallen branches. Together, the exhausted hominins pulled away heavy limbs, using raw strength and simple wooden poles. Inside, darkness offered shelter, while rain continued to hammer the earth outside. Water dripped from the stone ceiling into shallow pools, giving the group precious drinking water. The wounded survivor shivered with fever, as older females continued placing fresh herbs over his injuries. Others crushed fibrous roots into soft pulp that could be swallowed without chewing. Small children curled beside adults, protected from the cold by shared body heat. Outside, distant predators called across the flooded savanna, but none dared approach the rocky shelter. At sunrise, the fever finally broke. The young survivor slowly opened his eyes. Weak, scarred, and barely able to lift his head, he was alive. The tribe gathered around him, gently touching his arms and shoulders. Their movements carried no celebration as modern humans would know it, yet relief spread through every member. Survival belonged to all of them, not only to one individual. The following days revealed another gift. The burned tree outside the cave continued to smolder long after the storm had passed. Curious adults cautiously approached the blackened wood, discovering that predators avoided its lingering smoke and warmth. They did not yet understand fire, but they remembered its power. The place became a landmark they would never forget. As the injured male gradually regained his strength, "Aisa smart system maujood hai." The tribe resumed its endless migration across the open savanna. They crossed rivers by balancing on fallen logs, gathered edible roots beneath acacia trees, cracked hard nuts with rounded stones, and carried precious water inside folded leaves. Children copied every movement they observed, learning survival through imitation rather than words. The scars on the survivor's shoulder never disappeared. They became silent evidence that endurance could outlast overwhelming strength. Every difficult journey afterward carried the memory here of the day when death had already claimed its victim, but failed to keep him. Across countless generations, similar moments of courage, cooperation, and relentless survival shaped the path towards humanity itself. Long before villages, language, or civilization, the greatest victory was astonishingly simple. When everything in the ancient world demanded surrender, our earliest ancestor chose to stand again.